Hello everyone. Today I will illustrate how to set up MQTT using MQTT client library of function block of Omron Machine Automation Controller NX NJ series. I am Trinh, Senior Application Engineer for Valin Corporation. Let's get started. So first and foremost, what is MQTT? MQTT is a message queuing telemetry transport. It basically allows machine processes to publish topics, and other machines and the processes can subscribe that topics and get the data. So one of the components to get this to work is the MQTT server. It's usually called broker. It's basically a service that may run in the cloud or in a local infrastructure, manage the client connections, and delivering the message to all subscribed clients. All these machines that you see here basically are the clients. And the MQTT server can be a local infrastructure or it can be in the cloud. For example, these machines or processes can be published as topics, and that's how the MQTT receiving these messages, and then based on these four clients that want to subscribe the topics and based on the event or based on a time. So that's how those messages can be received. The server can handle thousands of currently connected MQTT clients. And of course, the capacity depends on the service or the network capacity itself. So what I will illustrate today is basically I have an MQTT server running on my laptop using mosquitoes, and then I have two clients. One of them is the NX1P2 PLC, and the other client is NJ501. So, for example, in my demo, client NX1P2 will publish a topic called test message. Once I publish that, it will be in the MQTT server. Now, when I want to get that data within that topics from NJ501, the client, I can subscribe that test message. And as soon as I subscribe that test message, I will see all the data inside that topics test message. Same thing here. So that's how the test message get over to the NJ501 from the NX1P2. Now, at my client NJ501, let's say I want to publish NJ status message topic. So I can publish that. And then whenever I want to get the NJ status message, client NX1P2 can subscribe the topic NJ status message to get the data inside the topic. And like I mentioned before, this server can be local or remote, can be on the cloud. But for now, I'm using my laptop as the MQTT server. What I will illustrate next is how my client NX1P2 set up, as well as the NJ501 set up using these MQTT function blocks. This side is for the NX1P2. As you can see, this function block is MQTT client, and it allows us to connect to the MQTT server. So what's important in here that you need to set up? The host. This is the IP address of my laptop, which is the MQTT server, 192.168.250.100. And the server port, I'm just using port 1883. I give it a name for the client ID, and that's NX1P2. And this is how long I want to keep it alive. And what I need to put on here is for the buffer in is the variable called delta buffer1. And this is going to be used later on for the function block publish as well as subscribe. The next thing I want to show you down here is basically I'm setting up my data of my E3Z, which is my photo eye, and I'm going to publish. So for publish portion of it, I have basically a contact here that I'm going to use to execute that publish, that topics. So the topics here is test message, as you see on the previous slide. Within the topics of the test message. Here's the actual message I'm going to publish. And you notice for the buffer, I'm using the same variable, data buffer1, that I have up here. And the nice thing about this function block is also the QoS, which is the quality of service, 0, 1, and 2. For now, I'm just using 0. I have retain here as well. I set it for true. So that's for publish. For subscribe, function block for subscribe, NJ, which is down here actually. The topic I want to subscribe is the NJ status message, which is coming from the NJ501. I use 0 for the QoS. The actual message I'm going to get based on that topic here, NJ status message, you will see the actual data will be coming through this message, and I use the variable str sub message 2 to get the data. And once again, I'm using the data buffer1 for the buffer for the function block. So that's basically 3 main function block that you use to set up the MQTT. And I'm doing the same thing on the NJ side. You see the function block for the client to basically connect the client to the MQTT server. And then here to get the data using the topic test message that NX1P2 publish. So without further ado, I'm going to go and execute this. So let me go on this side first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to establish a connection from the client to my MQTT server. So I'm going to turn on this bit here. As soon as I turn that on, let me make sure that I got the connection. Yes, it connected to the MQTT server now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on my NJ. I will establish the connection for my NJ501 to the MQTT server. So I'm going to execute that and make sure I am connected. Yes, I am connected there. So what I'm going to do on this side is I am now going to try to publish my topic test message. And if you notice here, the data I'm getting right now is E3Z output is 9999. I'm going to go ahead and publish that. Okay, so I just published it. Now I'm going to go on this side and subscribe. So now after I publish this test message, the data inside is E3Z output is 999. Yep, okay. So here's this subscribe function block, and I'm subscribing the test message, and I'm getting the data. E3Z output is 999. I'm going to move from my photo eye a little bit and see what I have here. I have 2021. Let me look on this side. What do I have? Yep, 2021. So that's how I publish the topic test message, and this is how I subscribe the message from my NJ501. So I'm going to go ahead and publish from my NJ501. So here's my publish function block, and now I want to publish the NJ status message 2 with the NJ message 2. Okay, so right now I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and I'm going to start I got some data here. So the production is 10999, and it's still incrementing. So if I go here and I subscribe this NJ status message, which already doing that. So I got 10.07.019.20. And that's basically the data coming from here. So that's how the MQTT is set up using the MQTT library of function blocks from Omron. If you have any question, please call the number below. And thank you for watching.